Enemy of God is a 1996 novel by Bernard Cornwell, and it is the second book in the Warlord trilogy after The Winter King, which I just reviewed. So I'd go watch that one first if you have not read this, or if you just don't care about spoilers. Let's be honest, they're really not that important anyways. But once again, this is from the perspective of Derval Cadern. Arthur has accomplished peace among the Britons and now turns his blade against the Saxons. Well, kind of. Merlin continues his quest for relics, particularly organizing a quest into enemy territory for one. This is for a certain cauldron. Sticking historical, of course. Well, it's actually legendary in this case, but, this historical fiction, or supposedly historical fiction, is mostly ahistorical fiction. But, again, so the cauldron over a grail. Anyways, so it's not a holy quest at all, though. It's to destroy the Christians rather than the pagan Saxons. Pretty ahistorical. It actually makes no sense. I don't understand Cornwell at all. This is so bad. This is easily the worst book in the trilogy, and the trilogy is just mediocre overall. I think if it wasn't this ahistorical nonsense that, Cornwell just has a bone to pick with the Christians, actually the books would probably be really well. They would be really well in my mind, and they'd actually be quite good. He just treats this so ahistorically, it's just a laughing stock at this point. I know everyone loves it. I guess most people are also rather ignorant of the historical time period, and so don't realize how bad Cornwell does it. Anyways, so the Christians in this book are cartoon losers, right? And villains, obviously. So it's very irreverent, very edgy. And, this is well realized in characters and plots, I guess. So it's just a cartoon, though. So, if you're here for that type of thing, which I'm not, it's just a joke. So in particular, it's like, I like the treatment of Lancelot, for example. I don't feel particularly any attachment to this character, and so it's fine that it's how he's treated here. Galahad is also fine, though I associate the Grail with Percival more myself, but Lancelot really gets the boot here in an edgy fashion, but not everyone is the knight in shining armor. That's chivalrous and so forth. It's dark, gritty, cool, whatever. It's supposed to be early medieval, I can understand that. Derval is a good main character. He's not a great one, but with the main action, I don't know. His feelings of friendship and love really move the plot along, and it gives it a nice ornament. It's really this extra stuff that's really not attached to any legitimate Arthuriana, right? Derval Cadern is completely made up for these books, and that's the best stuff. It's the stuff that's really not rooted in anything. That is the best stuff, so that's interesting. Anyways, the enemy of God in question is Arthur, which is beyond silly, right? Arthur is like the paramount Christian guy in the later romances, and in a historical period, he probably would have been too as well. So I think The Retreat to Avalon by Sean Pogue treats Christianity way more realistically here than Cornwell does. And not in like a Christianity good type of thing, just more realistic. So if you want an actual historical take of it, I'd read The Retreat to Avalon by Sean Pogue. But anyways, Cornwell is obviously aggressively against religion, while someone like Lawhead, I mentioned this in the last review too, is obviously a Christian himself, and he actually kind of leans in some ways too far into the Christian stuff, right? Like the Christian God gives Merlin magical powers and Lawhead stuff, right? Anyways, Pogue treats it rather neutrally and like a historian, recognizing what would be close to the reality of the period, which is done rather well, especially with such a big focus on Christianity and paganism at the time. The ahistorical shallow edginess of Cornwell comes through and makes this really a silly bore of a book, right? Especially when you have that idea that traditionally the Saxons would be the pagans and the Britons would be largely Christian, and that is a big unifying factor to them. So anyways, and even converting the Saxons would be a big unifying factor. You don't have that here at all. It really doesn't. It just falls apart. There is some shock and horror in this one. It's rather horrendous. It's hard to read, actually, at times. It's brutal, and it's well done in that fashion. It's supposed to be shocking and brutal. The plot, besides all the terrible treatment of religion, is really just fine. It's not bad at all. This is the big thing keeping me going, that besides this religion stuff, the other stuff is fine. And this is the worst one as far as religion stuff goes. This is why this is the worst book in the series. The first book and the third book focus on this way less. The Lancelot, Guinevere, Arthur stuff is well done here. Arthur, though, is not really impressive, actually, as a character. That happens in some of the old Arthuriana, but it's kind of pathetic here, and that's probably on purpose. I guess it's probably some purposeful deconstruction, which is really just not done that great. But I get the gritty lack of romanticism, but the main guy being meh is just kind of a funny choice. We do have this idea of fate as being inexorable, which is an Old English line actually from a Saxon poem. Ironically, it's not British at all, but it's repeated much in this book. But at this point, when I was reading this, I was highly questioning not reading or finishing the trilogy, reading the last book. But I went ahead and did it anyway, so you'll get my thoughts on that soon.